Hey guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, I thought of sharing a method which I used to follow these kind of tabular DIs. It is a question from RRBPO mock test of Guidely. So let's start. This DI is about the details of permanent employees and temporary employees of 5 different companies. Okay. So here in this table, company names are given, then the percentage distribution of permanent employees are given, then some details, hints about number of temporary employees are given. Okay. So here it is also given that the total number of permanent employees in the company, all companies together is 3000 and the sub questions are given. So when I see such kind of question, first I will make a rough sheet for noting down all these values. Like we have 5 companies A, B, C, D, E. Then we have permanent employees, temporary employees, and total employees. Okay. So I will make a rough sheet like this. And first of all, I won't decode all the values. First, I will go to the sub question then. Like first I read the question well, I understood the values and how to calculate everything. Then I will go for the sub question after making a rough figure like this. Okay. So first question is that the number of permanent employees in company A is what percentage more than total number of employees in company B. So I will decode the values accordingly. Here we need the value of number of permanent employees in company A first. So we have total 3000 permanent employees. In that 25% is from A. So 25% of 3000 is 750. So we got the value. Then we need the total number of employees in company B. Okay. So here 15% of the total permanent employees is from company B. So we have 450 permanent employees in company B. And when we come to the temporary employees, the hint is given. Hint is given, that is 1/3 of permanent employees in company B is temporary employees. So we have 1/3 of 450, which is 150, and we again got the total number of people or employees in company B, which is 600. So I got the values which is required for this question and I noted down here. So let's go to the answer. Here the question is number of permanent employees in company A is what percentage more than total number of employees in company B. So we have 600 total number of employees in company B and 750 permanent employees in company A, which is 150 more. So the answer we will get will be 25. Okay, then I will move on to the next question. So here we need the values of company E and company C. Like we need, here it is asked about the ratio of number of permanent employees in company E to number of temporary employees in company C. So I will find out the values accordingly. Here we need permanent employees in company E, which is 14% of the total permanent employees, which will be 420. Then number of temporary employees in company C. We have 16% of the total permanent employees as the permanent employees of company C, which is 480. And we have half of the number of permanent employees in company C as temporary employees, which will be 240. So here it is asked about the ratio, which is 420 is to 240, which is equal to 7 is to 4. So accordingly, I will find out the values and I will note it down like this, so that if same value is asked in the next time, we can use it, right? So instead of decoding all the values, I will go in the flow. Like I will answer to the question. I will decode the values which the question demands. Okay. Then let's move on to the next question. Okay guys, so in this question it is asked about the number of temporary female employees in company A. So we need to find out how many temporary employees are there in total. So we already decoded the value that there are 750 permanent employees, and in the table it is given that 40% of the permanent employees in the company A is temporary employees, which will be 300. So let's move on to so in the permanent employees, the ratio of male to female is already given. So let's decode each. So we have 750 by 5 equal to 150, total 450 males and female equal to 300. Then the average number of permanent and temporary male employees in the company is 310. So average is 310, which means that there will be 620 male employees in the temporary and among the temporary and permanent employees together, which means that there are total 620. Okay, guys, and we have total 620 male employees. And from this data, we will get that there are total 1050 employees in A in total. Okay, so among that 620 is male employees, which means that remaining 430 will be female employees. So in that 430, 300 are permanent employees, and the remaining 130 will be those from will be temporary female employees, and the answer here will be 130. Hope you understood. Guys, let's go to the next question. Here it is mentioned that the number of permanent employees in company F is 280 more than that of E. So we already decoded that there are 420 permanent employees in company E. So 280 more than, which means that there will be 700. There will be 700 permanent employees in F. And the ratio of total number of employees in company E to F is 3:4. So we need to find out the total number of employees in company E. Okay, we already know the total number of permanent employees in company E. So here the detail about the temporary employees given, which is 50% of number of permanent employees, which will be 210. Then we got that the total is 360. There are 360 employees in company E, and the ratio of E and F is given. So we have total 630 employees in company E, and the ratio of total number of employees in E to F is 3:4. So by 3 into 4, which will be, there will be 840 total number of employees in company F. So here we need to find out the number of temporary employees in company F. We have already found out that there are 700 permanent employees. So the temporary employees will be 840 minus 700, which is 140. And we have the last question. Find the difference between number of permanent employees in company D and temporary employees in company A. So we need to find out the permanent employees in company D, which is 30% of the total number of permanent employees, which will be 900. Okay. And we have number of temporary employees in company A, we already decoded 300. So its difference will be 600. So with this, the question is over. And you can see that I hadn't decoded all the values. I only decoded the required values, and you can see the blanks here. Not all the values are required for the question. Like if we decode all the values, the sub-question doesn't demand all those decoded values. Some values may be needed, some values may not be needed. So I decode the values according to the need. In this type of question, I felt that this is easier. So this is how I solve this kind of tabular DIs. I don't know whether you know about this method or not, but I found this helpful. Okay guys, now we just discussed about a method which I used to follow, that tabular kind of DI. And I would like to add to you one thing. I don't recommend that method in this type of DI. Like I told you that you can go according to the question, you can note the values according to the question, but I won't recommend that method in this type of DI, because here the values are too much close and there are a lot of values also. Here you can see there is 3 lines are given, right? So there are chances of the questions or answers getting wrong here. Like if we note a value, then go for the next. So there are chances that the answers may get wrong. Usually I get panicked when I use the same method here, because the values are closer. Like you can see sometimes I will read the red line instead of the blue line, green line instead of the red line. So I usually do like that, and my answers get wrong. So I don't use that kind of method in these type of DIs, because I will directly decode the values and I will go for the question. Otherwise, in many cases, I have experienced that my answer is getting wrong. So I wanted to add that point too. If you can like solve this type of DI according to the question without any error, it is a good thing. But when it comes to me, I can't do like that. I always mark the wrong one and I get panicked. I lost time there. So I don't prefer that. Okay, so that's all about the video.